Hi, I'm Amanda Groves, a lead faculty member on Southern New Hampshire University's Writing, Composition, and Literature team. In this short video, we'll go over some of the elements in our English 123 Composition 2 course that should prepare you for the upcoming term. Let's get started. Here's a quick snapshot of the items we'll cover in this video. First, we'll look at how the major milestone assignments are scaffolded to guide students through the stages of the writing process and lead them on to the final submission. Next, we'll look at how discussion boards function within MindEdge and how to facilitate those forums. From there, we'll go over the basic requirements for announcements, as well as how you might showcase your expertise and guide students from module to module during crucial points in the term. Then we'll move on to a quick tutorial on grading functionality for discussion boards in MindEdge, as well as a quick overview of verifying attempts on auto-graded assignments. And finally, we'll wrap up with a quick overview on how to create robust feedback and bridge each assignment to further underscore the scaffolding of the course. Let's take a look at the layout of the course. It's important to note that in the first 3 modules, students will be doing some important formative work in determining what topics they'll pursue for the rest of the term. For that reason, it's important that we, as instructors, offer prompt and thorough feedback to help ensure students get a solid start. In the first module, students are asked to contemplate and discuss elements of persuasion. During this first week, they'll submit journal entries exploring potential persuasive essay topics. Again, responding promptly and offering robust guidance on these first submissions can affect student performance for the rest of the term. So as you're working to establish connections and create a sense of community in these early weeks, be sure you're also giving students the information they'll need to start the research and drafting stages confidently. Offering multiple methods of contact, such as general discussion queries and email, can also go a long way in extending those topic conversations and giving students a strong start early in the term. In Module 2, students will continue to identify and discuss field-related problems to tackle in their final persuasive essays. They'll also begin formative essay planning in their writing notes submissions. And in Module 3, they'll complete their writing plans, which build on the writing notes to produce a more polished proposal of what they'll include in their final essays. In Module 4, students will workshop writing plans and continue to refine their documents in preparation for writing drafts in Module 5. While this is a writing workshop where students will read and review one another's work, it's important for instructors to be highly active in the discussion as well, guiding students toward more considerate reviews of their peers' work. Peer review is a common struggle for students, as it exposes many of their vulnerabilities and compounds the writing anxieties they bring to the classroom. You, as the instructor, can work to minimize their concerns, validate their contributions, and push them towards more fruitful exchanges. Then in Module 5, students will iron out thesis statements and submit their persuasive essay drafts. Module 6 will introduce students to revision strategies in APA and MLA style guides. In Module 7, students will complete reverse outlines of their drafts before submitting their final persuasive essays, and Module 8 will give students time and space to reflect on the overall writing process. Throughout this model, the process of writing, from brainstorming ideas to final revision, is stressed as the most effective way to deliver an organized and rhetorically sound argument. To further facilitate communication in the course, students will have access to both graded and ungraded discussions. The ungraded discussions housed in Blackboard will give students space to get to know you and their peers and ask course-related questions. In the left-hand Blackboard menu, you'll see links to the General Questions Forum, the Ask a Librarian board, and the Class Cafe, where students will engage with one another. The graded discussions for the course are housed in MindEdge in Learning Modules 1, 4, and 6, and later in this tutorial we'll go over grading procedures in MindEdge. Be sure to answer all general questions queries within 24 hours. Responding to student questions in a timely manner can ease student anxiety and establish your engagement in the course. And finally, you'll want to be sure to maintain an active and engaged presence on the graded discussions. You can look to the Instructional Practices rubric for insight as to how your discussion participation can showcase your intellectual, personal, and professional presences in the course. As for all SNU courses, there are basic announcement requirements to address each week. In your module overview, you'll want to be sure to include a summary of the previous week or weeks, create a bridge to the current module's information, and list the assignments or tasks for the week. However, don't feel constrained by these basic requirements. Announcements provide a wonderful opportunity for instructors to showcase their expertise, fill instructional gaps in the curriculum, and further facilitate course-related learning. You're the most valuable resource in the course, and having a subject matter expert as a guide will certainly help students navigate their curriculum. You can also work to explain the scaffolding in supplemental announcements, helping students make those connections from one assignment or module to the next. Explaining how all the course elements lead to the summative assessment helps students find value in all the work they do throughout the term. This also helps them understand how each component is part of the overall development of their final persuasive essays. The announcements area of the course is also a great space to preemptively address student concerns or common areas of struggle. As you're looking through the course materials, you can take note of potentially problematic areas where students may need extra guidance. The General Discussions Forum and student emails can also give you great insight as to what the class may be struggling with as a whole. If there's information the entire class needs, an emailed announcement can go a long way in addressing these potential issues. For the most part, grading procedures follow standard SNU protocol. You'll need to have all assignments evaluated within 7 days of an assignment's deadline. You'll also want to be sure to enter zeros for non-submissions in the Grade Center by Wednesday following the close of a module. This important task helps advisors get a clear picture of how the students on their rosters are performing and whether or not their progress warrants outreach. These zeros can also help inform your weekly outreach. Finally, you'll want to provide robust feedback on all assignments. It's important to note that some submissions, including milestone assignments, will still be submitted and evaluated in Blackboard. However, all graded discussions will need evaluated in MindEdge. As promised, let's take a quick look at grading discussions in MindEdge. Once you've navigated to a discussion page in the Learning Resource, you can use the search bar to find specific student posts or use the drop-down menu to select and view one student's responses. Once you've selected the student's name whose responses you want to grade, you'll see a grading window pop up. Here you can click the Grade with Rubric button to see the rubric associated with that discussion. To view the feedback boxes and descriptions for each critical element, click the buttons at the top. Then choose the appropriate rating for each category and leave a message to the student in each feedback box. Repeat these steps for each category, and don't forget to leave a robust summative comment in the Feedback to Student area as well. When the grade is pushed successfully to Blackboard, you'll see a notification. If you've missed a critical element, you'll be prompted to complete your evaluation before the grade is pushed. In some instances, you may need to check a student's work on the auto-graded activities throughout the term. You can do so by looking to the Instructor dashboard. You'll find the link to the Instructor dashboard in the Learning Modules section of the Blackboard shell. Make sure Edit Mode is on, then click the link. To view all the students in your course, click the Search Students button at the top. To get a snapshot of completed assignments for a student, just click on the percentage in the 6th column. To see a more detailed view of student progress, navigate back to the student list and click on a student's name. On the student data page, you'll see a more granular view of what assignments the student has completed and when. To view responses to the auto-graded activities, expand the Open Response Exercises menu. You'll be able to quickly tell which of these activities the student has responded to, as indicated by the red and blue markers. To view a response, expand the tab for a completed activity. Here, you'll see the prompt for the MindEdge material, as well as the student's response and completion date. Now let's move on to feedback considerations. Keep in mind, grading feedback may be one of the only times, aside from discussions, where students have your undivided attention. It's for this reason that we should put extra care in our feedback and offer students the direct attention they want and need to develop their work. We can also maximize on the scaffolding opportunities and mimic the basic structure of the course in our evaluative comments. Here are some areas where we can comment on student progress, both globally and locally. The inline commenting area is a great place to point out specific areas of a submission where you might need more clarification, notice a recurring grammatical error, or just want to offer a bit of praise. You can also refer to inline comments in your rubric evaluation to further reiterate or highlight an assignment's critical element. In each rubric, you'll see feedback boxes for each critical element. These commenting spaces provide wonderful opportunities to help students see exactly which components of their submissions may need a bit more work. And finally, the summative commenting area at the bottom of the rubric gives you space to provide a holistic overview of your evaluation, and you can also use this as a springboard for future work. It's important to move beyond grade justification and use feedback as an opportunity to help students look ahead and understand how they can develop their ideas for future milestone submissions. If you have any questions or concerns as you're reviewing the course materials or throughout the term, you're welcome and encouraged to reach out to your team lead. Best wishes for a successful course, and thanks so much for watching.